Happy Halloween, motherfucker!
Happy Halloween.
Happy Huluween for those of you who watch us on Hulu.
We're on Hulu now?
Yeah, little known fact.
I'm not getting residuals.
I mean, they're not paying us. We're actually paying them.
Yeah, we're like, can you host us?
It's a self-publishing thing.
Yeah.
Actually, all the money we've been making on our other platforms has been going straight to Hulu. Yeah.
This explains a lot.
But welcome to the Natural Ones. And I don't know. Do we have any big announcements today? Do we have anything to reveal?
It's Halloween.
Besides
Halloween. As you can tell by all of our very good, obvious costumes,
Yes.
we dressed up very good and obviously.
I don't have any.
Miles is himself.
to that description.
The coolest character I could think of.
Me. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. But I think, just be safe. Don't go trick or treating. I don't know who does that anymore.
If we don't follow the traditions of Halloween, we put ourselves in danger.
Just
I'm
carve a
actually gonna light the
jack-o'-lantern.
candle. I'm gonna light the black flame candle on the 31st.
Cool.
I figured it'd be a fun time.
You know who else has a really cool costume that he better figure out in time? Let's throw it over to Chris and talk about our giveaway. Whoa!
Are we doing 2 giveaways in a row?
Oh, am I supposed to?
Wait, are we not doing a giveaway this time?
Well, we did.
That'll make this bit.
This is
better.
episode 49, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
And
edit
then Chris will
around-
fix this.
I'll fix
in
this.
the edit.
Just in case we actually do.
Whoa!
Oh!
Wow.
Wow!
That was spoopy.
It was something.
I thought there was an elegance to it, like
The way-
Yo, I love
like
elegance.
raw charismatic charm.
Dude,
The way you did that one thing.
dude. I love elegance. Like my favorite animal.
Dubbo.
So last time on the Natural Ones.
Is that a reference to a gazelle?
No, elephant.
Oh.
Gazelle is Tom Brady's wife.
Good night, everybody.
I genuinely was like, gazelles, yeah. They are elegant.
Well, get ready for more of this. So. All right.
Elegant elephants, got it. I don't know how I got gazelle.
We all get confused sometimes. So last time we found our adventurers in the sewers of Verona, and they had made their way down toward down a new sort of like hatch tunnel, and eradicated this giant black pudding in the bowels of Verona's sort of like inner workings. So we open on them there, having just defeated this foe, and needing to figure out what to do next.
Just made it sound like we fought poop, but I like it. Let's go.
I mean,
Yo, we
Kinda
gave Verona a colonoscopy.
That's what it sounded like.
How's everyone doing? I feel like I could go for a run, but maybe everybody else wasn't as lucky.
Yeah, we're
not
pretty,
ideal.
yeah, we're pretty beat up and have used most of our spells, I think.
Yeah.
So
What were you guys doing?
I'm below. I'm feeling less than half as good as I usually do.
I was here, but I'm fine.
all right. Do you think it's safe to turn on that machine and see?
Probably.
Or I guess we don't have to. All
You
we
can
have
ask
to
any
do
questions
is,
you want.
That's the thing. We weren't brought down here to turn on a machine. We were brought down here to stop slimes. I think
guess
we really need to make sure we stopped it.
Yeah.
I think opening this gate up again and seeing if more comes out, or if there's like something in there producing the slime, might be a good thing to do. But
But
Yeah.
if you guys are not doing well, is that a good idea?
If we keep it
Maybe.
focused on that area, if it can only come out of those pipes, and we keep like attacks focused on that, worst case scenario, it should be a much easier fight than what we just did.
yeah.
So, a bit of clarity as well. The hatch itself is about 3 feet wide and about 2 feet, 2.5 feet tall. So the hatch itself is like you could fit in there. It'd be a bit of a squeeze for anyone, but like it's like person sized, right? Along the floor, there are several scatterings of bones and tattered clothes and the like, kind of all throughout the room. Probably around like 5 or 6 of them. On the floor, right next to the hatch, is a sort of drain. It is not corroded, but it does seem to lead somewhere else.
I
The
look
floor
down
around it is also very stained with a similar sort of ichor that is what you just fought. But as you look through the grate, there doesn't seem to be anything inside. You can't see. You can kind of like, because of the lights involved, you can kind of see the bottom of the containment unit. It seems like some sort of like storage.
At the bottom of the drain?
Yeah. Like you can see the bottom of it. It seems like it just like feeds into a containment shell. Seems like a little.
and it's empty.
It's empty. Yeah. The hatch
Does
is
the
currently
containment
closed.
cell like go like into like underneath us, like where the water is? I'm confused. Or it just like fills up and then eventually will
Think
overflow.
like a what's the word? Like a tank, right? Like a propane tank or a sewage tank, right? Like septic tank, something like that, right? Like it's a small containment underneath the floor, yes, but it's not going into the water. It's self-contained. It's like a little. It's just a little. So it feeds into the drain. It goes into the little thing, and then that's it.
I'm just confused where that goes, but I'm sure this is not as important as I'm making it.
It doesn't go
So-
anywhere. You can see that it's all contained into this one little spot. It doesn't go anywhere else. It drains into that one spot and stays there.
Yeah.
Correct. I'm just wondering how it doesn't overflow. That was where I'm like, should we be putting things in there, or should that remain empty? Is my thought process. But
Okay. Just making sure it was.
Do you want to try opening this thing up and seeing what happens?
Yeah, we gotta make sure that we're done.
I will
Did
you guys-
spend. Sorry, name this.
oh, I just thought maybe you guys wouldn't want to stand on the earth again. It seemed like it hurt you last time when you were there, and you said Lolly and I are pretty healthy.
Yeah, I was thinking if like one of us flips the switch and then you two are ready, if something comes out, like ready to hit it. If something comes out, I think that's a good play.
Yeah, I was just about to suggest that.
Also, I'm just gonna
Well, not for
Oh.
Nameless, because I wouldn't volunteer her for anything that she
Gonna-
doesn't want to do.
I'm gonna put 25 lay on hands into Liam and 25 into me.
Okay. So you're using.
That is delightful. Thank you ever so kindly.
So you are going. Who's going to be opening the hatch if that's what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna stand close to it and hold an action to attack in case. If slime makes a move, I'm gonna attack.
All right. So, Liam, you're the one who's actually pulling the latch. Okay, the lever. As you get ready and stand by, Liam, you release the lever, and the hatch opens up. And as it does, a little sort of droplet of that black sort of jelly falls to the ground, but it does not move. Okay, you... Didn't seem like it was doing anything.
I got it.
And after you hit it, it's definitely not doing anything.
Okay.
As you look into the actual hatch, it seems like it is coated in it, but it doesn't seem to have the same presence.
Can I vibe?
Sure. What about?
I was able to detect, like, the kind of arcane energy of the slimes before.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if I can feel if this thing is still active or not.
Sure.
It's charisma plus proficiency.
Yeah.
16.
So you're getting a type of read on it. It seems more like something that, while dormant, is active. It seems like whatever consciousness the bigger form of it had was the only reason that it actually was active. It seems like it was able to pool into something, is what you could reason. Like the three things that you've been encountered, the things you encountered feel more like they are alive, whereas this just feels just dormant, but could be active.
Okay. It's not gonna move anymore, but I'm not sure that it's safe to move through it.
Can I just radiant sunbolt it just to make sure? Like,
yeah.
just
As you
so
radiant
that it doesn't
sunbolt
become
into the hatch, like into the hatch tunnel, it sort of dissipates some of it, but it's a long tunnel. It's not some short little. It goes farther than you can see.
Yeah. I just want to get as much of it off as I can, just to be safe.
You don't get much. It doesn't seem like it's doing a lot. It's it's more like a tube, right? Where this stuff is just kind of constantly dripping forth.
Okay.
Do we want to just close this up, head back, and tell him we did the job so we can get that information for Panther?
Well, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure what we need to tell them is that whatever this hatch connects to is, I think, what's generating it. It's possible that the only reason it came to life was because of that machine.
Right. Yeah, we don't know what that was doing.
I don't
I say
know.
we leave that off for now.
This is the thing, is I'm not sure if the job is done. We at least have a lot of information to bring them, if nothing else.
I feel like, it was a pretty simple job for the most part. It was clear the tunnels for our smugglers, which we did do. I think giving them the information, like, if the cause of the troubles isn't abundantly clear, that's not really something we can be faulted for. I think if we give them the information we need so they can potentially keep the tunnels clean, I think we've done our gig, and we gotta, make tracks. If we want to come back and investigate after, sure, but...
Nameless. You have an excellent memory for geography.
I do.
If you can try to make a mental note of where we are right now, so that maybe we can figure out what in the city might be above us right now. Just in case we need to know, that might help us figure out what's caused this to happen. And it might be connected to the weapon. So, Just
I kind of do that naturally, but I'll definitely think about it more.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's get out of here.
Close the thing back up.
Sure.
Question: when you did this, were you pulling the same hatch? Because wasn't there a second lever on the other side?
There is.
Yeah.
Do you want to play with that one?
I don't know.
Kind of.
I have an idea of what it might do. It might be related to the tank. But
Let's flip it really quick so we can get out of here if we want to do it.
Alright, I flip it.
You flip the other switch, and below you in the grate, it closes.
okay.
Oh. Alright, I'm good to go.
And we go.
We could have just trapped it in there the whole time. Damn. I leave.
Okay.
No, it's
All right.
back.
So
Climb our precarious rope.
That's a pretty sturdy rope for the most part.
it's true.
God did the job.
Yeah.
You okay, Chance? You look like you have like.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what was happening in that room. That's all.
I mean, there's still stuff that you guys hadn't looked at, but yeah.
Yeah, we didn't fully charge up the machine or anything.
Here's the thing. Chelsea is curious. Nameless would not give a crap. So
That's-
yeah.
That's mostly where I'm sitting as well. Like,
Well-
I'd love to know more, but it's something that
The thing that's weird to me about
So-
it is, what is this machine? Because like, if it's been out of order like this for so long, like, why has this been allowed to get like this? I guess is the thing that's weird. It seems like it would be an important thing.
Well, I know that we're normally do-gooders, but I would like to do good for myself, so...
Yeah.
yeah, like maybe we can come check this out, or maybe it'll be relevant to the weapon. But that's later. That's later.
The good news is, now that we've been here, at least we can fast travel back here if we need to. Because otherwise it would be bad DMing. So.
Sure.
We tried.
I like that strat.
Just guilt him into doing what we...
Yeah. Like that hasn't already happened 1,000 times.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And
especially
it
in
could in
regards
no way
bird
backfire.
flies
It
how
could in
fast?
no way backfire.
to-
So, you cross back over the bridge, heading to your guys' precarious rope for not really precarious, but I'd say with the 4 of you working together, it's not very difficult to make the climb. The hardest part is honestly carrying yourself for about 120 feet. You know, like that's the difficult part. So I'm just gonna need one check from everyone.
Is it
That's
strength, athletics?
It'll be athletics.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I don't know why I looked.
come on. You rolled one
Oh, I
earlier
actually
for
have
me.
more athletics than I
There we
think
go.
I do.
Nice. Okay. 19.
Philip,
22.
nameless.
23.
She's
And
determined.
Lolly. You just gotta say it. Just
I got a 2.
okay.
Oh no.
I rolled a natural 1.
So there is a point where something about the nature of this is just not working for you, and you kind of just get stagnated on the rope. Like you can't pull yourself higher.
How far am I?
About halfway.
Like, how far did I walk up?
About halfway
Like, would
up.
you say... Okay, so great. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to walk up the wall for the 50 feet that I can walk, because I can walk up vertical things. And then for that last
okay.
little bit,
Let's
I'm just going to...
let's clear something up. You don't walk up the wall. You are running up a wall.
Okay, so I run up the wall.
And when you end your movement, you don't hang on to the wall. Like, you're not just
Right,
like
then I'll grab the
Spider-Man
rope.
against the side of the wall. You're
No, I mean, I'll run up, then
Yeah.
grab the rope at the last bit, and then pull myself up for that little bit, because clearly my arms needed a break.
I'll allow it. As long as you use the appropriate key or whatever that it takes to do so.
Well, isn't that my unarmored movement? To do it just for 50...
It's,
Cause,
it's only key she like steps to the wind.
Okay.
yeah, because I was gonna say, if I'm doing that... Well, I guess if I'm dashing, then yeah, I would have to use a key
No,
point.
you're not dashing.
Then no key point necessary.
You're dashing, Tyler.
Yeah, I was wondering who would say it.
I had a mouthful of grape.
It would
you
make the
are
most sense
capable
if you
of
said it.
definitely getting up there after that. And the journey through the sewers are certainly hesitant, but are you trying to go directly back to the twins first thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure that there wasn't any other things you guys wanted to do. The whole journey back takes relatively about the same amount of time, so close to like 45 minutes. This is a little bit quicker, mainly because you guys know which paths you're taking.
Also, I dismiss Flanagan. I'm not just gonna leave him in the sewer.
I know.
Yeah. All right.
I figured. The only other thing is to note that rope that you guys used, you can only save half of it, or 50 feet of it, right? Because the other parts of it are hooked up. Well, you could probably save the rope, but you don't get those pitons back unless, as you're climbing up, pulling them out.
I was assuming we were leaving them there, but taking
Yeah,
the rope.
I was planning on just
let's
sleeping.
let's just get a new climbing kit at some point, y'all.
All right, that adds a bit of time just to like unfasten everything. So
Yeah, it was not expensive.
roughly an hour to get out of the sewers, right?
Okay.
You're looking at it's about 5 o'clock at this point, early evening, as you taste fresh air for the first time in a few hours. Standing up, and you can hear the city, and you hear the bustle and the bit of smoke, smog that covers the great city of Corona. And Pangolin, I guess, you guys lift him up through the through the sewer hole. And with you and Philip, there's no decidedly necessary check to be made, especially if you guys are taking the time to do it properly. So, as you head back to the bar, the Pixie Dust, you see that during the time that you guys have been gone, it's gotten no less busy, but there is a different sort of crowd coming in. It seems like more people who do the long, actual hard labor of Corona are now visiting the bar as well. Whereas the sort of high society people who have been off in the corners and in hidden little spots, some of them are still around, but most of them have vacated for the day. You make your way to the bar. You give him the passcode. And
I would like a Felicax double.
so good. Takes you back. This time the twins are you guys have to wait a little bit. They kind of give you a sort of they're in a meeting right now. Just give them a moment. And as you wait another 10 minutes, there's someone who leaves that you weren't expecting. And you see Yvonne walking out of the back room. And as she comes into contact, oh, hi. Didn't know you guys were gonna be here.
You told us to
Did
come
you
here.
order the
No,
Felicax double too?
I mean, at this moment, I didn't realize you. hello, everybody.
Hi, Dr.
What are
Dick.
you doing here?
Just visiting.
Visiting
Insight check.
friends?
Sure, you can insight. Go for it.
Because I've already had such a good luck with my first roll. A 14.
Well, you guys have been around her for a little while. It doesn't ring untrue. It's very guarded, though. And not the best. Like, not very discreetly. Not so much standoffish, but definitely flustered. I mean, I know them. They're old friends, and I wanted to. I haven't been here for a long time, so.
No other reasons?
None that come to mind. I mean, I should
What
probably
were you
get
talking
back
to them?
to the house because it's only Ark and the kids, so.
Yeah, I've heard that Ark might be dangerous, so it's probably best to not leave him alone with the children.
What were you talking about with them?
Just getting caught up on some of the stuff in Corona. You know, it's
Like what? I mean, we're trying to save Perona, so.
that's okay. Just some of the people. I had heard some people might be here, so.
Ooh, maybe we'll say hi to them too. You told us to say hi to these people.
No, it's not necessary. It's fine.
Well, it's not necessary, but I want to do it.
No.
I'm gonna step it. It is odd seeing Yvonne leave the mansion, but it's like Yvonne, you've been nothing but helpful to us. If you have something you need to keep secret, I'm okay with that. If at some point you'd like to tell us, that's fine as well. We should be able to go in and get our information now. I think we should do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good luck. I hope it works out. I'll talk to you a bit later.
I hope
About
whatever you're
this.
looking for works out as well.
Oh, did you guys it's good that you guys are alive. I know that the last time we talked it was a little you guys were in a difficult position.
Yeah, you never got back to me on the sending stone, but I didn't push it. I assumed the reception was bad.
Yep. Okay, bye.
But I guess you were just here.
Bye. Yeah. That was it. It was just I wanted to get closer to try to answer, and I thought, you know what, I might as well just go see where you guys are and understand why it didn't work.
Cool.
Alright, well, have a safe trip back, and we'll be in touch soon.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Bye. And she very quickly and embarrassingly leaves.
That's us. Let's go.
How do I jump into the vent like Yvonne did? Alright. Yeah, let's go.
So you follow the hallway back down to the twins' sort of office, and they're sort of already sitting there, waiting, and oh, well, you either work very quickly, or it's a bit bigger of a problem. Which is it?
The first
Both.
one.
Yeah.
Or
Killer,
both.
poison slime. We killed it dead.
3 of them.
Wow.
Yeah. One was an entire room. Looked like once it died, there was about 6 or 7 bodies worth of remains. I'm fairly certain this is what's been giving you trouble.
Well, that's interesting.
Do you have a map of the city?
Yes.
Can I see it? I can point to you where it was. Based off my
You could give a good
memory.
estimate.
Sure.
So, she says, sure. And she sort of like gets an old sort of like scroll map of Perona, and says, this might be a few years old, but it should suffice.
I draw out our general directions and then point to where
So,
we fought
using
the
your
big dude.
using your again geographical estimates, you point it south of your direction with the way. Because the problem is you weren't looking up at this. You didn't have any sun. You didn't have any things to like point you into what direction until you got out. And so from there, you know where you were pointing. So you were pointing south, slightly southeast. So you're following the channel into the river. The distance involved puts you roughly within, I'd say, half a mile from Parliament would be like the biggest notable building close to that thing. So you kind of have to make a little bit of a wide circle of saying like this is kind of the area where it's at, but like that'd be the rough place I would put it.
That's kind of what I was expecting, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, it's probably happening from over here. It might happen again, but we did the thing that you asked us to do, which was get rid of the issue as is.
Yeah, we took out all the slime we saw. We couldn't really see any direct major causes, but it should be fairly cleared at this point.
Oh. Yes. The bodies are certainly an interesting bit of information. We'll have to investigate because there shouldn't be a room down there. There's no, access ports in that area.
Well, there was also a machine.
Yeah, there was some machine work. Part of it seemed like a filter, and then there's one that seemed to just be hooked up to some sort of energy bank, like just giant. There's not a word that I can use that isn't server farm. Like, there's no equivalent.
But
it looks like a server farm, but that would be gibberish. That's currently turned off. The place where the slime seemed to be coming out is shut up right now. Inside the area where the slime was coming, didn't seem to have the we couldn't sense any. It didn't seem like any goo in there was awake. So.
Well, I mean, most decidedly, you have certainly completed your end of the bargain. We'll have to accept that for now. If it's clear and we can verify it, then no issue. So if you won't mind just waiting a little while for us to verify the information.
How long?
No,
I mean,
not
we'll
long
wait,
at all.
but-
Not long at all. And she reaches her hand out. Yes, the gold banded ones, please. Yeah. So whichever hand you have the gold band on, she holds it out to each of you in turn, and kind of just simply puts her thumb and her pointer finger upon the band. then just focuses. And as she does, you can feel sort of as she's touching it, the gold band sort of disappears over time. And as she's done with each of you in turn, she steps to the side and says, well, certainly seems like a great deal of effort on your part, and we can surely verify that it's real. So, business to take care of them. You wanted to know some information in Corona. Would you like to be any more specific?
Ancient technology that could be hurting the land.
Nothing to add from anyone?
We've just heard that there's a weapon here.
Okay. Equal opportunity, so. So. Well, as we said in our last meeting, something is definitely peculiar in the city. We have more important people in Corona than we have had in a long time. Also, the rolling blackouts are certainly nothing to scoff at. Definitely seems to be something, especially when Parliament is still active. Now they do have their own source of energy, but that is neither here nor there. It is also what powers the rest of Verona. Seems the most likely candidate for something of what you're asking. Ancient technology is not known for being the easiest to use in a lot of the texts. We have also reason to believe that there has been something built beneath Parliament. Recently, there was a fair spike in activity around Parliament and the water wheels that generated power. We used to only have 2 that would usually give just enough energy for the entire city. They have recently accrued more than 12 wheels to generate the energy. So, you tell me how we could have blackouts in a potential energy surplus. And Percival,
Do you know?
Percival speaks up for a second. He says, "Now, it's not any other mystery. There are 4 people in Corona government, particularly, who routinely have seen more and more prominence and power, especially over the past few years. We would have reason to believe that they would potentially have the easiest amount of access to something like that." You had a question?
You suspect that they're building, or they've been working on something below Parliament, because that's where the energy, the water wheels are, or something. Sorry, the question. Do you know if there would be a way to get into that area from the tunnels that we were in? Like we were in tunnels that were somewhat near Parliament?
No. Unfortunately, Parliament is built upon the water itself. So there are no sewer connections. It's certainly why we haven't been able to learn anything more than that. But as we have moved through those tunnels, there are signs, hours of noise. And while you're within the tunnel, every 2 weeks, or at one point it was every week, but a rumbling within the tunnel, like an earthquake, but no longer than 5 or 10 seconds. Which have been getting worse.
And who are the officials you think might have the best access to this sort of thing?
So, you have Garrus Ptolemy. He's a Viscount of Foreign Affairs. He's a bit of a... Sorry, I'm just getting to my note. He's a bit conversational and mostly a braggart, but he definitely is not one to attempt to fool. He made his name in Perona for being sort of two-handed or two-faced. You also have Pelos Quill, the Archduke of Dunmore, probably no laughing matter, and no two ways about it, the richest man in all of Dortenia. He runs a very, very successful mining operation throughout the land. It's sort of a nationwide endeavor. He is a frequent patron of our establishment, but does not. We have to be very careful when interacting with him. He
Doesn't engage in a lot of idle chit-chat then?
Not with us, necessarily. It has to be very pointed and very careful. He has a very good standing with the Knights of the Sapphire Heart.
Wonderful.
That's unfortunate.
Yes. So, as you can imagine, we're no Crimson Dawn. But we like to keep our operations well bribed. And as he has money, he doesn't usually take that. So, moving forward, there is a professor from the Museum of Natural History. Oh, sorry, the Museum of History. Why did I say Natural History?
Because you live in New
Museum
York,
of
baby.
Unnatural History.
Yeah, the Museum of History.
You know, they...
It's Professor Bromare. She is the head of antiquity. So certainly...
Weatherfield?
What is her field?
Yeah.
The
Head of
head of
antiquity.
antiquities.
Head of Antiquities.
Yeah. Notably, in the past, she was something of an archaeologist as well. Known to have found many, while non-functioning, definitely helpful bits of lost technology and bits of magic arcanum long lost over the years. Very secretive, very cloistered. But recently, over the past year, she has been known to essentially reside in two places and two places only. Her office in Parliament, as well as her office in a museum. She's... don't know much more than that about her. Very secretive. And finally, you have Farouk Demirel. Now, while honorable, our chief admiral of the Peronan fleet is known to be more of a deterrent-minded individual than a peacefaring one. she's if you were to find anyone who held true honor within Peronin Court, it would be her. But she still plays the court well. This is the first time she's been back in the mainland, especially Peronin mainland, in about 5 years. Predominantly, she sails the Gantaray and Larbeck, making routine sort of trips around Britannia, establishing new military bases and the like. Especially over the past 2 years, they've been searching for more. But those would be the people that I would likely point out to.
What was the general's name again?
Farouk Demeril. So with an F-E.
Well, to me at least, all this seems to point to the weapon being under Parliament. All the people involved, all the energy they need, the rumblings, it definitely seems like whatever it is, that's it.
It's certainly the only reason we could suggest such a thing is most of the evidence points towards certain truths. The last bit of ancient technology Perona has found to be as on par of other discoveries has long since been hidden away. No one was even sure what it was. It's those guarded secrets.
These water wheels, where are they exactly? Are they also under Parliament, or?
Well, some of them, yes, but most are located within the actual, as part of the outside of the structure.
Okay.
They were using some advanced technique from what we can gather. We can't get anyone down under there. They have too many defenses right next to it. So you can't get really anyone close to inspect, but something seems to be close to some sort of turbine or something.
Feels like we would need someone on the inside.
And in terms of things you've tried in order to find out more information, have you ever had someone turn into a fish and get closer? Do they have anything to stop you from doing that?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yes. Most of the magical barriers around Parliament are of those natures.
All right.
Certainly, preventing shape changing and impersonations. Typical.
All right.
This might sound stupid, do they do like tours of the building?
Of Parliament?
For
No.
tourists?
No.
No? Okay.
No, they don't have like their middle school
Okay.
classes. Go.
No, of
Do a
course.
tour.
No.
There's no
Okay.
there's
This is
no
a
like
place of.
there's no like pay $30 to somebody in a yellow vest and they take you down to see the weapon.
This is a seat of power. This is high society of high society. These are the people who make the decisions. They don't need the rabble to walk through.
So, you said you don't know much about this professor. Before she started locking herself away in the offices, do you know anything about her temperament, or outside of finding this technology, did she have any particular?
Well, no one who worked with her was very fond of her. She was very cold and unfeeling, prone to working long hours, and not really accepting of anything less.
Sounds a bit like someone we know. So,
Who?
is there any chance you guys want to tell us what our friend Yvonne was doing here? Probably not, but I figured
Oh, you know
I'd
Yvonne.
ask. That's how we
Damn, I was
found you,
gonna
actually.
do that once everyone left.
Oh.
God, Miles.
Well,
Sorry.
it's odd that she didn't mention you, but yes, of course we know Yvonne. And she's a
What-
wonderful old friend.
Is she okay?
What did
Well, we do need someone to deliver some packages.
Where do they need to go?
I would like to do that later.
Yeah.
If you'd
This-
like to know
this-
what
this
we
information-
discuss, that is going to cost you.
I don't know how I feel about going behind Yvonne's back on this.
Yeah. Also, it's information we don't need immediately. So potentially we would take you up on that, but we should probably focus on.
The main
Look-
question is, you are friends with her, yes?
Yes, very much so. She's a good friend of ours.
Is she okay? Like, is she going to die?
Well, she's already
I know
done
she
that
already-
once.
I know, I was going to say that. Should we see? We are also friends with her.
You are her friend. If you were worried for her, I'm sure she would love to know.
Did she ever work with this professor? She's the person who sounded vague, who reminded me of your description of the professor.
Oh.
Well, yes, once upon a time.
Makes sense. Their fields seem to overlap at least a bit.
You're welcome to ask her. I'm certain she would. If she is your friend, as you say.
Yeah, we've. Yeah, I do. I think it's a good play to ask her about that. It might be the best in we have with any of these people. Is through Yvonne.
I feel like the professor is the best chance we're going to have at finding an ally in this situation as well. The other three would benefit from pushing this to war, or at least from having a weapon active. It's possible she also wants to see the weapon used, but I think it's less likely she does than anybody else involved.
Yeah.
Percival, you should give. I know. Alright. We were gonna hold on to this for another job, but you are friends with Yvonne. Well then. Give me just a moment. I just have to bring it up.
First of all, go into the notes app.
Percival, can you go get my PDF?
Alright, everybody check the Discord.
Oh, buddies.
So Percival hands over sort of a slightly bloodied but old parchment, oldish. And he says, well, to be fair, we did know a little bit of information before you went down into the sewers. It's sort of what made us seek out someone to make it happen. Sort of confirm some of our suspicions. This is our first indication of something below par.
We should probably read this so that the audience
Yes,
knows
you
what's
probably.
going on.
I love
All
how
right.
I send you guys.
Sorry. Yeah.
No. I
right.
think it's funny because I was like, I love how I send it to you, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably.
Yeah.
we should probably have somebody read it. It took me forever to find it too. So.
As research develops around the device's potential, we in the Energy Department are of the opinion that due to the high volume of energy required, and the fact that it has routinely burned out every capacitor we have ever invented, that we may never reach the limit of its potential output, albeit with the device seeming to have a fairly limited function. Being tasked with finding a solution to this power shortage, while not impossible, it is becoming increasingly obvious that it does require a level of dedication that may come with a somewhat unconscionable choice. An example, we may need to bring these findings to the Apex Council with the hope that we can generate more energy for the device. Were we to tap into the city's power grid and up the output of the mill, we could see a more stable form of energy. Additionally, the discharge from the device seems manageable enough at this level, but if we are to increase its output, we will have to adjust its containment storage, as currently every week that the waste is disposed, it takes quite the effort to get it in the drain. It's completely stained the surrounding area by the drain, but I suppose this is a conversation to be had with maintenance. Of course, were there lodestones at a high enough quantity/output level that could theoretically match the upper limits of its potential without having to borrow from the city. Note, try to use this discussion as a chance to request from Professor Bromaire to authorize further investigate. The letter shakily ends there. Yeah, so the slime situation is definitely because of this machine.
Yeah, seems to be the case.
You know, this would have been really helpful beforehand.
How so? What would this information have meant to you otherwise?
Really?
Well, maybe we could have, like, saved some time and, like, I don't know, climbed up the hole or something.
But then we wouldn't have been. Would you have done the job if we had given you this information?
Yeah, because it would have been
We
doubly.
don't know you, and we couldn't have trusted you. Please know that while our business is our own, we're very grateful and thankful for your efforts, and we have paid in kind what was agreed.
So you say you've been feeling these earthquakes every week.
Well, it's predominantly around the same times every week.
When was the most recent one?
Just a few days ago.
So we have a few days.
There was also a, conveniently enough, an additional sort of rolling blackout during those times.
I think we need to go through that hatch. If we want to get to the machine, it looks like this goes straight to it.
Potentially, yeah. Or at least that's where it leaves its discharge. That's not ideal. Mike, I'm confused. So the slime seems to be output of this machine. This machine does something that seems to result in this slime being created. It needs an enormous amount of power. They're talking about the output of the machine, and I can't tell if that output is a different form of energy or if it's just something else. It seems to also cause these earthquakes, but we don't know if that is the purpose or just a side effect. If the purpose of the machine is to make giant earthquakes, it seems like building it in the middle of your city is a bad idea, but we have no other indicator as to what it does.
At this
More
point,
questions than answered.
At this point, the twins say, "If you don't mind, we do have other business to attend to."
Right. Anyone else have any questions directly for them?
I'm trying to pull something up before I figure that out.
Sure.
Where did the map go? Where was that posted?
Should be in the general chat,
know.
or it should be in the. That's where I believe I put it. I'm pretty sure I put it in the general chat.
If anyone sees it before me, I would love that.
Yeah. What are you looking? It is in general.
The Perona map.
Yeah. What are you?
You have to
Do you
go
want, like-
scroll
I just
through
want to look at it
all
if
of
that's
the
possible. If
memes.
someone could like.
Yeah. I'll repost it.
Yeah.
I found it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good.
Well. Yeah. I mean, if they only try to do it like once a week, and it happened a couple days ago, that means it's probably safe for us to go over the next couple days. But if it gets to the week again, once it goes off again, it might make more slimes.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're on we've got kind of a window here. If we want to go straight to the heart of it.
Are there any other questions for us?
She's looking at the map.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure.
Where is the museum at?
It's not on there.
We passed it. It's in the.
The museum is that lightning bolt.
Okay. I did not write that down on my thing.
It's all good. Yeah, that's the Museum of History.
Okay. Are we?
No, but I'm good.
Okay, cool.
So, as you exit, they kind of just give you a nice little wish farewell, and if you're ever looking for more work, you know where to find us.
Thank you.
You might want to work on the recipe for the drink.
So,
I think it's bad intentionally, because if it was a good drink, people might just order it willy-nilly, and then they wouldn't have a way to parse people who want a conversation from not.
Yeah, but then the people who do develop a taste
you
for
guys
the drink-
leave the room.
We do. This is as we're leaving.
Yeah.
But then the people who do develop a taste for it and order it all the time will be really weird people.
Do we want to have this conversation in a dark corner of this bar? Do we want to go up, find an alley? What's the plan?
It's probably safer in the bar than.
Well, I would have to eventually return home soonish
Right.
because I have only
have to-
20.
No, it was
4 more
48
hours left.
hours, right? You know, so you guys.
I have only 24 more hours left of my spell.
Do we
So-
want to, since we are having conversations now about our next part of the plan, do we want to go re-up that now? Or do you
That
want
was what I was gonna ask. Like, we can do that now, and then sleep there. I can do the spell. Like, can I do the spell again?
Can you?
Yes, I can. I'm saying, like, would
Yeah,
it work that
would
way?
just
Like,
it
the
just
24
would it would just well, yeah, like it would just go back up to 48. It wouldn't like
Okay.
gain 48, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is maybe we want to stop by the museum on the way out, but I'm good with going back to the mansion. We could honestly stay the night there if we wanted to.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a long rest, and presumably we could talk to Yvonne about the professor as well. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Like we could check out the museum, but I think we should see if we can get some more information from Yvonne before we try and talk to the professor.
I don't even know if I want to talk to the professor directly anymore. Like, I wanted to talk to her to see if we could find a way to, like, make friends with one of these people and get into Parliament, but if we have a straight shot to the machine, we don't really need that, and I'm wondering if talking to the professor might just risk tipping her off.
Sure.
But it's still possible that maybe she doesn't want it to be used as a weapon. I don't know.
I mean, that doesn't make it any better. We have to destroy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we can convince her that it's better for it to be destroyed than for it to be used to harm people.
The nameless in me says that's great. However, I would like to destroy it because that was what was going to get my dad back.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, it will
So
get
get my
destroyed. I just
dad
mean we might be
back.
able to get her to ally with us in... That's what I mean is I think we might be able to convince her that it's, like, to help us destroy it. She's the only one that I think we might be able to.
Or we lie to her to get information and then go destroy it. Either way, I think getting information about her from Yvonne if we can is not a bad idea.
Yes.
Just throw that anywhere, Miles.
Is there anything we need
So are we
beforehand?
heading houseward?
Yeah. I'm down with that, unless somebody else has something else they want to do.
Okay. It's gonna take you a little bit of time. No more than like an hour. that's how long it took you to get here.
When we walk, is there like, do we see these wheels?
So, if you look at the
Or
map,
are they, like,
if you look at the
under?
map again, where you guys are is that like alpha symbol, the A, right next to the circle bridge.
Mhm.
So, through Hierarchy's Cradle, where that dotted line and the big square, that's Parliament.
Correct.
So-
Maybe I
so-
misunderstood. I
so
thought
what
that
I was-
they were saying that the things were throughout the town. Are they not?
No, they're. So that's what I was about to say.
Oh.
It's like, so like from that X, that's the closest bridge to Parliament, and it actually has like one of the best views of Parliament without actually getting close. That dotted line is sort of like their barrier. Like once you get through there, you have to like have identification. So to pass by Parliament to get this information, you'd have to go through Hierarchy's Cradle or like go to that bridge, or so you'd have to make a stop off essentially.
Okay, so the wheels are not throughout the town; they're only through the Parliament area.
Right. So that little
okay.
where the bridges are, that's where the ocean comes into Perona, and it transfers into the Lavaston River. So like
Yeah.
it eventually becomes the river that passes under Parliament and then through the rest of the town. So the water wheels, the water mills are right next to it.
Okay. I thought there was gonna be like along the river in general.
Sure.
Cool. Never mind then. I have nothing to look out for then.
Okay. The yeah, so you guys pack up, head towards the mansion. Probably around, because it takes a little bit to get to the actual exit of the city, so it's more like an hour and a half to actually like get back to the mansion. Because you guys have Nameless, you guys are able to find where it is, and the terrain is still up, like hallucinatory, and so you guys are able to climb up back into the house. And is there anything that you're looking to do right off the bat?
I would like to find Yvonne.
You search in the workshop. You go to the other side towards like the little smithy. You check in the library. You check the kitchen. You head downstairs to the in the basement where the operation is. You head up to the 6th floor. You cannot find her. She is not anywhere that you are looking.
Realistically, I probably would have gone to the mirror, but
Okay.
but I like the flourish, so I left it.
I'm just trying to teach you that, like, yeah, the mirror's cool, but, like, you can do... It's like calling somebody on the phone who lives with you.
Yeah.
Listen,
I do that all the time. I don't know.
If I had a house half as big as this mansion, I'd probably do it.
You're like, this will just take care of this problem.
It's like intercoms. I can't find Yvonne here, so maybe show me
Weird?
where she be here.
Oh
Yikes.
She is weird.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Shel Silverstein, who?
The mirror takes a second, and then the words, "Look, bitch," come up on the, just get typed on the screen. It's like, if a mirror could sigh,
Yeah,
it does.
the mouseling in the mirror.
You see a
is
bit
not-
fog up as if someone sighed on the mirror.
I'm just imagining like a little mouseling inside the mirror operating it. Who just hates that this is his job now.
Well, like also that like she's the only one who uses it, so it's like
Yeah, it's
like,
true.
oh,
Like,
She's
man.
the only one, and she's the one who just like does not care about the English language.
So good. you're saying. As you get static.
I go find Webster.
Okay. Liam, did you have something?
No,
Okay.
we can try the sending stone.
I feel like she probably doesn't want to be contacted.
Seems to be the case.
Yvonne.
I
One
feel
second.
I feel like she wants to be left alone. Hey, Yvonne.
Set Lolly, you go and find Webster. He's in the library, just kind of
Yeah.
parsing through some stuff.
I'm gonna sit down
Mm-hmm.
next to him, cuddle him just a little, because, you know, that's what moms do, I think. One day you're gonna be comfortable with this, but that's not why I'm here. Did Yvonne happen to tell you where she was going?
No, she said she was going to be back. Just keeps
And
reading.
she gave you no other information but that?
No, is supposed to.
No, she's just not here. So, did anything happen before she left?
He kind of points to the desk across from him, and you see a bunch of books sort of left half open, and you see a couple of pages left sort of unkempt, and her inkwell was like dumped over, but has since been like put right side up, and like the ink has been wiped down. You kind of see some ink on Webster, kind of getting the idea that maybe he cleaned it up.
Oh. What's on the pages?
On the pages, they're all kind of like blank or now, you know, a little bit like splotched with the ink. But on the books themselves, they're kind of open to a couple of different histories. Histories of Perona, Jortenia, some family lines.
Are there any names that jump out? Like any names maybe of like the 4 people that were
Well, you do
mentioned?
see. Sorry. Well, you do see the name Quill a couple of times.
Okay.
I know this one. You take the pages underneath the ones that got spilled on. You take some charcoal, light rubbing, see if you can see any imprints.
No, I
Or
was
what
just
she
gonna
was
bring him
writing.
to the boxes upstairs
You and your light
that
rubbing.
made gold coin and see what. Okay.
Turn them into dragons. All of them dragons. That's not what the box does.
No.
But that's for
So far,
For
that's
all you
somehow
guys
make a
know,
bunch of-
that's what it does.
so far that's the only thing it's done. It's just a dragon machine.
I just make a bunch of Figment, the imaginary dragons. I can only see them.
So what are you doing
And that's
with the
and that's it on everything like kind of notable on the desk.
for the books that are open? Yeah.
Quill.
Okay.
And like and the other books at the table. Yeah,
Quill's-
it just seems like.
Quill is the richest man in Jortenia.
Ah, there it is.
Is there any relation to Dr. Quill?
Is there?
Medicine woman?
Do I look? Is there a relation to either? Do I see
Not in
both
the
their? Okay.
Or
Who's
you
Dr.
could.
Quill again?
He's the guy we gave the medicine to.
The episode you were
The-
the episode you were gone.
yeah, one of the ones that you weren't there for.
Yeah, I remember it happening, but I wouldn't have known that detail. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm not a
Nameless thought he was really attractive, but also thought he might be her dad.
Is there anything? Like, I'm gonna flip through the Perona book. Is there anything with the professor's like family name in there?
Well, so the family lineage one is different than the histories of Perona.
Or I guess the
So like
history.
the
Sorry.
lineage one is more directly like royalty of Jortenia. So yeah, as you look through the history of Perona, give me an investigation check. The other one was open, but this one is closed. So if you're trying to look for anything particular,
Okay. That's a natural 20. Of course, that's when my natural 20 shows up. Not when I'm trying to walk up a fucking rope, but now.
arguably it might be better.
Yeah, this is honestly a more important thing, 'cause this isn't something you're good at.
So there is a bit of information here that might prove interesting.
Okay.
As you're flipping through, you kind of notice one page is sort of earmarked very lightly. And
Okay.
flipping to that, you notice that there is a passage in here speaking of a lost technology.
Oh, yeah.
Something found in the maledicted wastes
Oh, of course they are.
decades ago. Found there in relation to Alolia. Seemingly kind of creating a Cold War scenario where they just kind of hate each other from afar.
Seems to be the thing. Are there
A joint venture of finding something in the maledicted wastes, which both sides came out owning something.
Okay. Interesting.
The book itself also seems very old in terms of it looks like a first print of a book from decades ago.
Hmm. Which means there's a possibility of revised copies in the library, yes?
I don't know about this library, but
I'm gonna look over at Webster since he's still just sitting there. And hold
he
up the
does-
book.
he's like, only copy.
Okay. I love you, my beautiful, organized boy. Or whatever you choose to be. I'm not pushing a gender on you. Okay.
I'm not pushing my agenda on you.
Boom, boom. Psh. Okay, I feel like that's enough info. I'm
Okay.
trying to think.
I'm gonna go to someone else while you think.
Yeah, go for it.
So back to the three of you. Didn't you guys have a question?
Well, Nameless was yelling
Yvonne.
Yvonne, that's what it was. Sorry. 2 minutes go by. No response.
Hey,
at
Yvonne.
I think she doesn't
And
want to be contacted.
you
right
get a
now.
very,
Or
very,
she could be somewhere that's protected, like.
you get a very
Parliament or
hushed. Yeah, I can't exactly talk right. But what are you? What's going on? What are you? What? Hello?
I just wanted to make sure you were alive and not like dead.
No, not dead. Very alive.
Okay. She's alive.
Alright.
Okay, it's good.
I didn't feel like I should ask her more questions because she seemed like she was busy.
Yeah, I feel like she'll. I feel like if there's something we need to know, she'll tell us.
Maybe she's visiting her friend at the parliament.
It's also possible. Whatever she's doing, I think it's. Whatever she's doing, I trust that she's doing something important. So, just have to wait until she's ready to talk about it. Other than that, though, I think the best thing we can do is get ready to climb up to that machine tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless we can think of another approach, but the only other thing I could think is if we could sabotage the water wheels, but I don't know how we get in there. Just to stop it
That's
from getting
just
energy. But
Yeah, and that's just temporary fix.
Yeah.
Coming back downstairs, said Lolly, to say something.
No. Back in the book, back in the library. She's still there. Does the history book say if there's where Parliament currently is? Does it say if there was anything originally there, if Parliament wasn't the original building, or a way to access the building without actually going through the barrier in the building? Like, I know we're obviously thinking about going through the sewers, but just in case there's another way.
It doesn't have any information about that.
Okay.
But it does have information about Parliament itself. It's one of the first structures built of Perona. But it also... Just give me a moment here to bring up... So, the main Capitol building is at the heart of the Lamastan River. It's sort of like where it begins. It's this massive like stone and brick building. It's sort of built ever upwards. The new stone clearly against the old, right? So these... the giant water wheels have been there for a long time. This was sort of how it started. This is how Perona started. It was kind of like this water mill that also... there was a bunch of lumber and timber around, like their surrounding area. So they were able to harvest that kind of stuff and build upon what was there. The most interesting feature was when Perona was built, about 50 years into its history, once it actually had a grounding and began to be Jortenian, on the northwest side of Parliament there is a clock tower. And within that clock tower, sort of one of the first structures like that they made with tinkering technology, right? Like it's one of those like first examples of like, and it still works to this day. So it also is the even though it's on the northwest side, it is notably independent of Parliament itself. It's 10 stories. There's 180 rooms, staircases posted at several points. There's sorry, just need to say. Oh, yeah, and it's built over the river, right? So, like, originally when this book was talking about, it has, like, 2 or 3 water wheels. But then eventually, you know, where it's at.
And then going back to the lost technology, because it just popped into my head, is there maybe a passage about, like, its weaknesses or how someone could
There's
destroy
not even a listing of what it is.
Okay.
It's a secondhand account from the writer basically saying, like, I know this happened, and there's no information about it.
And who wrote the book?
You flip to the front. Dracarius.
Oh,
Arcanist.
of course he did. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna go over to Webster, wipe the ink off, kiss him on his head, then go downstairs to tell everyone this information.
You got it. So, heading
mom.
downstairs, she kind of informs you of what she's just kind of discovered, seemingly that Yvonne has been reading about. Liam, give me just a general intelligence check.
Gladly.
Answer this pop quiz.
Pop quiz!
That's not it. Click. Yay, I rolled. Fucking kidding me? That's a 6.
Alright.
Guidance.
Yeah, until too late. Then, if there's nothing else, do you guys have anything else you guys want to discuss?
Do we have a plan of action? We're just gonna go in there and assume that, like, magic still works and stuff? The barrier is just only up above and not below? Because I'm kind of pointless if it's not.
Well, the magic still has to work there, right? Like, it has to work inside.
The machine. Is
Yeah, but like
presumably
I'd like to
powered by
not be
magic.
like, I'd like to not be like in a form, and then just like blah, human.
If there's any place that isn't going to be affected by this barrier, it's that. But
Okay.
it's not a guarantee, but I don't know how we get more information, and it seems like the safest at least. Well, outside of being coated in slime that could potentially be harmful. But in terms of being a blind spot, that's probably it. The fact that they just left people dead down there too, so they know that the slimes are there. It's curious. I think it would be nice to get more information if we can. I just don't know what leads we have outside of going to the museum or waiting for whatever Yvonne might be investigating.
Yeah.
But we have a couple days until that thing goes off again and there's more slimes.
But I also only have like 6 days. Now almost 5. So
Yeah.
I'd rather solve it sooner rather than later.
Yeah. We have less days than that before it goes off. It's going to be easier to get there when there's no slime. So, I think, you know, in the morning we can check the museum, we can investigate, try to get more information. But I think it's best if we go in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Unless something develops. I just don't know how we get more information than we already have. So, yeah. When you said, what all information did we get from Set Lolly? Like everything that? Sure,
Unless
the
she
books?
wanted to not say anything.
No, I told them everything.
So
I have no reason to lie.
So, maybe we should check in on Dr. Quill.
I can do that.
If he can give us some insight into, if he is related to this Archduke, if he can give us some insight into what's important to this guy. I mean, outside of money, I suppose. Money seems very obvious, but some way that we can maybe persuade him to our side or know something about what to expect, just in case we need to.
I have a question. Nameless would remember this. Chelsea can't find her notes. Are any of the names that Set Lolly saw on the street from the same family lineage thing that she was looking at before? That Yvonne was looking at before?
Yep.
And I can't remember. Chelsea, can't remember what she said. Those were.
But Nameless can,
Do
right?
you remember? I would imagine, yes, but like unfortunately,
I can't say yes to that.
yeah,
one.
Okay.
that I would remember.
Well, you remember the names. I can't say yes that you remember what she said.
I wasn't alone. I just can't remember who in this room was there with me.
When was this?
Long time
We
ago.
came back. I want to say it was after. It was before we went to hell,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, it was a long.
and she was
time.
looking at a book. But there was someone with me, and I just don't remember which one of you 3 was there.
Probably Miles or.
I can check.
Or Chris.
I could check my notes in a bit to see if I wrote anything down.
If Tyler knows, he should just tell us. It hasn't.
Do I know which name was there?
Yeah. You know
Which-
that that Quill was the name that she was looking through, as well as Ptolemy.
Well, should I call Dr. Quill?
I
When
Would
you
you
say
like-
it that way, it makes me think of Dr. Phil. Or whatever. That's why.
I think it's one of the only leads we might have.
Okay. Hi, Mir. I'd like to speak to Dr. Quill. That is who.
What was that rhyme?
To and who?
How?
Hi, Mir. I'd like to speak to Dr. Quill. That is who.
It is a rhyme.
Okay. At this point, I there's no repercussions.
What? To and who rhyme?
It's not that they don't rhyme, Chelsea. It's that the meter with which you decided to put them in doesn't make sense. So
It's like ... Dr. Quill. That is who.
it's like Spider-Man theme. Actually, it's funny that Miles just got up because I was actually going to say, and that is where we were going to take our break. So stay active in chat.
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll find out.
We'll see you soon.
Right, what you're gonna be for Halloween.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, right, we're gonna be for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. We'll all be talking about Halloween in chat.
Halloween.
It's a spider pig.
No?
Oh, it's a Spider-Man.
It's fair.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Natural Ones Halloween special.
Boo!
We want to throw out a super special congratulations to
Insert name here.
for winning those awesome stuff.
Even
if
if
we're doing a giveaway, because
even
honestly
if-
we might not be.
we aren't doing one.
It's part
You
of the...
won in our hearts.
Yeah.
But if
Part
we're
of the
not,
surprise.
congratulations you for being back after the break.
Yeah.
You made it.
Are you doing something with your ears, Chelsea? Is that what you're...
I was touching him.
Just to make sure they're still there, or
Well, I was being a
Still
cat
with
at the
ears.
beginning. I was like, go ahead, girl, go ahead, get down. But then
Is that what that means when cats do that?
yeah.
Go
Yeah,
ahead, girl. Go ahead, get
When a
down.
cat does that, it's like, oh yeah, you go, girl.
they all really
Like-
love that song.
Go
All right.
ahead, girl, go ahead, get down.
Well, opening up the second half of our show tonight, Nameless, you've just stepped up to the mirror to call Dr. Quill,
If you will.
if you will.
Well, that's... Look at how well that one worked.
That one?
I don't have anxiety pressure.
Anxiety pressure! By the end of this show, Chelsea will be a diamond.
In the rough.
That'd be so
Anxiety pressure.
Oh.
It's a geology joke for you.
Yeah, she's great at that.
It's geography.
I did take geology. Oh.
So, stepping up to the mirror, sorry. So dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, it's up there with the elegance joke.
Gazelles.
The mirror, it just it fades into. You see, God, it's. You see a resting figure get jolted awake by your presence, because you are. It's like 6 p.m. where you guys are, and a little bit later than that, and it's like 6:30 in the morning where he is.
Good morning.
You make a habit of hi.
I wish I could say that we don't, but we do. I had a question about your family lineage.
Who are you?
This is not...
I'm here with Ancestry.com.
23andMe.
We're trying to catch the Golden State Killer. We need your DNA.
I'm an adventurer, and I'm wanting to know if you knew Palos Quill.
Palos Quill is wait, what? Who are you? Do I know you?
Well, I thought you did, but I guess you don't.
How?
Stop laughing!
When did I
Serious.
meet you?
Well, we were at your house. We brought you some drugs. And-
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of. Yeah, all right. You look kind of familiar. Okay. Yeah.
It was a while ago.
So, you're just looking for who this person is?
Yeah, I was kind of just going through all the quills I knew, and you were it.
Well, I mean, all right. Well,
Once I get like mute everyone.
well, I mean, they've been dead for a while, so I don't know. That.
How long? Like,
How while is a long? It's so good. And I am not laughing. I want you to know I'm not laughing at you for sure.
I'm laughing at me
It's
because
like,
what?
It's just that was that's just too perfect of a flood. That's so good. How long is a while? Years. I kind of lost count. Being here, bearable.
Did you see their body? Like, what did you actually see that it was them dead?
I think I know they're dead. Yeah.
Well, perhaps you should know that there is someone here who says they are them.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Why?
Just sort of.
Bless you.
Well, I mean, Pelos didn't really run with a good crowd, so.
You're not at all. I mean, I admire your ability to just be like, meh, but you're not at all worried that there's someone pretending to be someone that you know. I assume family.
I mean, yeah, not really. I don't really care. Why do I care what's happening to a dead family? I mean,
Well, because this man who is saying that he is your family is the richest man in Tortenia.
awesome, great, good for him. Is that it?
I will also have your flower for you, if you would still like it.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, well, we'll see if I get it for you. I might not. Thank you for helping us.
Look, I'm sorry that I don't love my cousin or whatever, but that's a long time ago.
Well,
Completely different life,
were they
Do you
in
have
Mark
stuff that
before you?
No. Sort of a mixed family.
Oh. Well. Thank you for helping me.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
1 second. I have to see if there are any questions
Alright, I'm gonna
people
go.
want.
I'm gonna go pee.
Does the
Guys,
mirror just follow him?
Yeah, the mirror just follows him, so he's definitely going to the bathroom as you guys are talking still.
So do you guys have... So, I learned that this Palos Quill is his cousin. But they're really dead.
What would somebody have to gain from pretending to be him?
Apparently, he did not run with a very good crowd.
Do we know
I
who
guess-
they were?
The whole crowd?
Yeah, like. Is
I
it
did
like
not
a-
ask.
I'd also see, like, did they run a mining operation when they were alive? Maybe someone's pretending to be them to take over the operation, or did the mining operation happen after? With the scope of it, one would assume it would have taken more than a couple of years to throw together. So that would probably be the reason someone would be pretending to be them. But
So you think somebody killed him and then pretended to be him to take over all of his stuff?
potentially, you could try asking how he died. If
Okay.
they know if he was murdered or if it was just like.
How does he know he's dead, but everybody else is still fooled?
Maybe he killed him.
Oh,
I've actually pretended
that
to
would be
Palos.
unfortunate. I did not ask. I will ask him how he died, and also if his uncle ran a mining company. Is that it?
I think it's basically it. Like if we can.
Okay. Well, just tap on my shoulder if you think of something else.
Okay.
Excuse me, Quill.
Hmm?
I have 2 questions that I have thought of.
Okay.
One, how did your cousin die?
Well, they were supposed to go into some form of new quarry, some new quarry they found out in the middle of Jortenia by the big lakes out there. They found some quarry and some new kind of mineral or whatever. Or I don't know if it was new or if it was just better. I don't really remember. But never came out.
So that's how you know he's dead?
Yeah.
But, like, what if they're alive and just, like, possessed?
They're just like a massive cave-in. I don't think anybody came out of that.
Do you happen to... Well, I'll ask my other question first. I actually have another question, too.
Yeah, just keep them coming.
Well, really, you kind of answered this one because he is part of the mic. So, never mind. What did your cousin look like?
What did my cousin
There's
look
that
like?
answer.
Come on. God. Just lay down. You beautiful girl. Beautiful princess.
Just right in front of the camera.
Just like,
Just.
hey world. It's like we're not showing whole pics on main.
OnlyFans.
What was the question?
What did your cousin look like?
He was human. He was dark haired. He always had a stupid mustache. Liked to dress well. I don't know. I mean, he and I were the last of the Quills, so.
That would explain why I don't know many of you.
Yeah, I guess.
Is there some sort of phrase that, like, only the Quills would know?
No. You mean like a motto or something?
I learned one recently, yes, so I thought maybe you family had one as well.
No. That's not how we operate. Just, we know each other. Yeah, we'll get into this. Like, I didn't really want to do the work that he wanted to do, and so he took over. So I left, and I got word a few years ago that he died in the cave-in.
What kind of people did... I mean, you said he didn't run with a good crowd.
I feel like that kind of answers it, right?
But, like, you know, there was, like, the Crimson Dawn.
Well, I don't
Was it
know.
that kind
I
of
don't,
crowd?
I don't know who he was. I just know they were people I'd like to be around.
That's saying a lot. Okay. Thank you.
Please don't
Good
call
morning.
again. Like
I
this.
do not make any promises,
At this time.
unfortunately.
Bye!
I will not call you at this So, they were part of a mining. I relay all information.
Okay. If it was just the two of them left, it's kind of weird that somebody was able to just say they were them.
Well, then there's no family to check that.
Right.
And perhaps you have forgotten, but Dr. Quill is not the nicest. Now
Well-
I'm hearing Dr. Phil.
Right, but it's just if he heard about it, it's really weird that somehow they were able to pull this off. Something to have in our back pocket, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure
I
how
think
we
it
use
was
this
an
info.
invasion of the body snatchers.
Never seen it.
Well, in it, it's an old elven tale, and in it, these things take hold of people's bodies.
That sounds terrifying.
It's moderately scary, yes.
Alright, well,
But maybe it's really him. I know what he looks like, so
okay. Well,
I know that he's a human with dark hair and a mustache. I
He
know
likes to
what
dress
he looks
well.
like.
well. I think that's all we're going to get from that line of questioning.
Yeah.
Is there anything else to investigate, or do we just rest up and get ready to go in tomorrow?
I can't think of anything.
Same.
There's someone I want to talk to, but I can do that tomorrow.
I have something I'd like to do before I sleep.
Pray.
So, if you want to do the hallucinatory terrain, you can sleep and then, or I guess if you want to do it before, and then
I want to do it for my
yeah.
spells.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna do that basically.
Okay.
Sorry, I got a phone call, so my iPad froze. And I was
Oh,
like,
okay. So, Lolly, who are you? Like, are you wanting to do that tonight before you go to sleep?
No. No, I can do it in the morning. It's not overly pressing.
Okay.
I'm just calling the monastery.
With that, you all rest for the evening. A long rest is had by all. Some nice dinner and relaxation as you.
Oh, and before that, I burned my last third level spell slot to bring Flanagan back.
Okay.
Before we sleep.
And as you do, he's. Yes, Master Philip. And he's still covered in, like, sewer goo. You don't do anything?
Got nothing to say.
wait, would you do that in front of us?
I mean, like, probably out in the living room or the foyer.
Yeah.
I would like to take some of the goo and put it in a thing, and then leave it on Yvonne's desk, being like, "Can you check this out, please?"
Okay. No, I like it. I'm just saying okay.
I tie it up really tightly too.
So, as you're all sleeping, at early in the morning, or sorry, really late at night, I should say, as the two moons, kind of on opposite ends, Liam, it's about 1 a.m. when you hear a knock on your door.
Okay.
kind of like waking you from sleeping. As you open the door, you see Yvonne sort of like nervously standing there. Hi. Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to.
Hey.
Thank you. Do you mind coming with me for just a second?
Sure. Pull on my jacket and head out.
So she takes you upstairs to the library. And she's like, okay. Look, I don't know entirely how to say this correctly, or just I don't know how to apologize to everyone about what happened earlier today, but so I found out something that while I was doing some personal errands that I thought would be interesting to you.
All right.
What you guys have talked about. And I had kind of suspected that this could be the case, but yeah, there's no I have kind of been lying to don't
All right.
know who else I can say this to besides you. This is just the first time I've had to say these things. The people that I have been looking for are here. So Professor Bromare, I gather you learned a little bit about them.
Yeah.
So they were a good friend of mine a long time ago. And there was a reason that I ended my trip. And my excavation, right? I think I've told you about that. But I have recently come into some new information as to why that happened. And I am fairly certain that they are part of the reason that I have. What happened to me happened. And not only them, but the other people in their council. You see, there's a council, the Apex Council, that are sort of these people in Drotinian politics who represent certain areas of interest, and I've been noticing a lot more as we've been traveling through Drotenia. Markings of them, especially recently, and I can't stop being angry. And I know that they have something to do with what you guys are trying to do. And I know if I'm about to go do what I'm going to go do, I'm going to ruin all your chances of doing what you're going to do because they're going to be on high alert, and I'm not going to be able to stop it.
Okay. What are you trying to do? And can we help each other? Can we help you do what you want to do and accomplish what we want to do?
Help walking off a ledge. I think all I want is for them to suffer. And I can't stop it. There are a lot of things that are in me that have been there for a long time. And things that I would rather not be there.
Right.
So I guess I'm just sort of asking if you get the chance to do me a favor and do that. Because I feel like I went there today to do something very, very come here. I went into the city today to do something. Her face. She like reaches in to her bag and pulls out what amounts to like a pipe bomb. She's like, can't.
Right.
I can't solve this with that, I don't think, and it's all I can come up with. And I have sort of been using a lot of my time to figure out a different way, and I haven't been able to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Am I wrong? Am I dumb? Should I just go do it?
No. It's not dumb. It's hard. I don't know everything they did to you. I don't have your anger. But sorry, my instinct was to say I don't think this will solve anything. I don't think you're trying to solve anything right now, and I don't blame you for that. That's not an accusation. I don't know. We certainly have made people suffer in the past, but it's generally not our goal. It's not something we generally do intentionally. I can say if we destroy their weapon, they'll be angry, upset, set back, hurt. But I don't know that that's what you're looking for.
I think you're right, but I think I just spent a long time thinking about this. And then when you get to the place where you get so just maybe don't tell anyone, but that's all I have, and I don't know what else to do. And I
Right.
think as much as I want to help you and the others, it's really hard to be involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a side note, destroy what? Again?
We were told they had a weapon. That's pretty much all we know about it, except for it seems to be the thing that's draining power. It seems to be producing crazy killer slimes that we were fighting. Our current plan, they have this thing under Parliament, presumably. It's eating power, causing blackouts and earthquakes, and producing slime. We know where the slime comes out, based on some notes that we got. Our best bet right now is climbing up the chute that the slime comes out and seeing if we can get to it and disrupt or destroy it. Honestly, something like that would probably be great for shoving up its tailpipe.
Huh.
I don't know if it would work, but our current plan is what I laid out to you.
Yeah, she kind of like scoots it your way. Like, yeah, that's fine. Good.
Quick question about the Apex console. We learned about people, as you guessed, including the professor. We also learned about a quill. Are they part of this Apex Council?
Well, when I was there, yes, yeah. Sorry, I had a few meetings with them, so yes, they were there.
We've reason to believe they might have died a while ago, but seem to still be alive.
By all accounts, it's the same quill that I once knew.
All right. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. Right. I don't know. I'm sorry I don't know how to help you. I wish I did.
I guess, it's just needing somebody to be.
Sure. You've been here for us. I'm
Yeah.
glad to be here for you.
I promise I can say a little bit more another time. I just can't.
We'll get this done and get some miles between us and here. Maybe that'll help.
If the stuff you're trying to destroy, you said it was ancient technology, yeah?
Yeah.
She looks to the bomb. It's not gonna cut it.
Fair enough.
I mean, I suppose it depends on the device, but most ancient technology was like the train in Alolia, or which kind of points to the house. It's Tower of Blight, or a lot of other things are massive in scale. They had to be able to generate stuff. So it's also some of the more rare elements of the world. So material, metals. Right? To do that with what you will. I
Thank you.
I might be wrong. Who knows? I just don't know. All right, I'm going to bed. Bye. Thank you. Yeah. Morning comes to you all. Fresh rest and a full journey in front of you to head back to Perona. Is there anything that anybody wants to gear up or settle before we head out? I know someone wanted to make a call.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go to the mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Lumari, please answer my call.
It does indeed. You see, you're kind of catching him at a semi-morning meditation, and takes him a moment, but you see one of his sort of scaled eyebrows kind of raise. Yes, said Lolly.
So good morning. I hope your meditation was going well before I interrupted you. I was going through a book about the history of Perona, and I came across a passage that said that the maledicted wastes, had owned a bit of it, and I was wondering if you knew what that lost technology might have been.
Many years ago, longer before than I had been teaching, before I existed, there are tomes of such knowledge, records that indicate something created the maledicted wastes.
But it doesn't specify what that
Many
specifically
pieces
is.
of lost technology still exist within the wastes. I suppose if you're not going to learn history, let's try again. The maledicted wastes was part of the burgeoning event of the Three Sisters. It's also the site of a great war. Something caused the maledicted wastes. It wasn't that way before.
Okay, have you ever heard of technology that causes massive blackouts and earthquakes every few days?
No technology specifically doing that. Certainly widespread electricity in such a way was not as far as I can read, not an event for most people. Does not seem
Okay.
likely that the device would do it.
Okay. And then last question. Do you know anything powerful enough to destroy anything that would be part of the many different types of ancient technology?
There are examples of it. There are a few records that decide to explain part of its reason for existing. They were made for war, or something there close to it. Imagine, if you will, a potential to cancel each other out.
Okay. Sorry to bother you again. Thank you so much. Oh, and by the way, I spoke to Dolara, like she came to me. I don't know what that means, but I thought maybe you might be interested in knowing. And I'll explain this whole thing with how we can see and hear each other later. We're getting someone's dad back, so we're kind of on a time crunch.
Do what you will in the time that you want to. your journey. Do you find yourself learning any more about yourself?
I'm a little confused currently. But yeah, I think so. But right now it's not really about me, so
And why is that?
well, we're not I'm trying to help a friend, so it's not really about me at the moment.
Interesting. It's just an interesting perspective.
Okay, bye. And then I hang up.
Okay. So, anything else before you head back to the city?
I tell Miles the information again in hopes that he makes a higher intelligence check.
Can I go look to see if Yvonne has touched the slime thing?
By the time you guys wake up and are about to load, she is up. Same number. Dang
Exact
it.
same thing.
But as you enter the workshop, she seems kind of like tiredly working on stuff. And she has the sample next to her. Oh, hello. So that is definitely some residue from a cute, gelatinous like jelly, an ooze, if you will. Is there something else you wanted to know about it?
I was just wondering if maybe it had like a mechanic, like any sort of thing from a machine residue kind of thing.
Well, I mean, that's sort of what it is. The ooze don't generally... if you want to talk about planar physics, the way this ooze works is in any of its species, it's a direct link to a demon in the abyss. So what happens is you get something like this and it produces enough waste that because even magic has to have some sort of disposal, right? So it then creates this, and then when this has enough mass accumulated and it is active, then its connection to Jubex is formed, and it becomes a living thing.
There's not like a weakness or anything.
Not distinctly. I wouldn't cut it if you.
Yeah, I learned that. Wait, you mean like in half, or like sharp thing
I
at
wouldn't.
all?
I wouldn't try to cut it at all. Its form is able to is malleable and it will split. Two consciousnesses of the same thing.
Okay.
Its
Thank
only
you.
goal is to devour. It doesn't have any other motivation. There's no intelligence. It has no feeling outside of what it's being told by its, demon prince.
That sounds like fun. Thank you. Also, I am sorry if I seemed rude yesterday.
I think you're dealing with them a lot, and that's fine.
Yeah, I am. But I know that it's not fine, so I'm sorry. I know that I did not behave well. It's just like, I just got my dad, and so it's kind of on the forefront of my brain to keep him. But you've been in my family a pretty long time too. So, sorry.
Yeah. I can.
Do you accept?
Yes. Yes. I'm sorry
Okay.
that I haven't told you more. Just another time.
Okay. We're gonna go maybe do damage to things and get my dad back. So,
Okay, I'll have the house ready to go.
yeah. We'll be back within 48 hours, I hope. Bye. Oh, but if we're not, maybe, come find us.
Okay.
Ask the twin, your friends. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I was really hoping for more information about the cube things.
She knows a lot.
I know, but you can't tell like what the machine is.
It's a secret thing.
Yeah, but it might be like, oh, it runs from oil.
Oil and grime. Slime up above.
Worth a shot.
Hey, shoot your shot, you know. So, about an hour to get to the gates of Perona. What would you like to do? You are standing at the gates, and the world is yours.
Do we want to hit the museum, or do we want to just go for it?
I'm down to try. Go.
Oh, I was gonna say the opposite, but I'm not opposed to trying.
I figured this is a good first effort. If this doesn't work, the sooner we do this, the more time we have to figure out another plan.
This meaning going to the museum or going to the hatch?
Going to the hatch. Just trying for it. Going to the hatch, trying to get up there, and...
Oh, then we were saying the same thing.
Great.
Oh, then we were saying the same thing. Great.
I thought when you said this, like I thought you meant like the museum, but I would like to just go to the hatch.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is...
I don't think there's anything in the museum for us, though, that, like...
The only thing I can think of
necessary.
is if we can see some sort of... It doesn't have to be the same kind of machine, but if we can get Liam to see something, he might be able to figure out something that he might be able to translate into this thing. Unless he rolls another one.
We could, if you think it's going to be useful, your guts tend to be correct.
Ugh.
I knew you were gonna do it.
Well, it might not be useful, I just don't know that... I don't think it takes too much of our time to see if they have something there.
Alright, well, since you've brought it up twice, I think we should just go.
Okay.
It could make us, if we are able to get to the machine through the thing, having a little more information might be good. So, I'm not opposed to Swan.
Okay. Yeah.
To the museum.
To the museum.
It's a short trip, but
Someone tries to mug you.
A wyvern
punch
drops
him.
from the sky.
Halloween.
The museum itself is very grand in scale. It has this beautiful sort of intricate stonework and the sort of like Sphinx guardian stones outside of it. Entry is like it's like a silver to actually enter the museum, but
I try to slip past without no, I'm kidding.
It's National Free Museum Day.
Yeah, wait, is
You
it a
don't
Tuesday?
have like a pay what you can.
I can pay 0.
Pay what you can in the amount of 1 silver.
Pay as many silver as you can.
Okay.
1. Can you mark that? Can someone, Tyler, mark that off my thing? My computer died, so I currently don't have my character
Just take a
sheet.
note of it.
I'll pay for you here.
No,
It's-
no,
it's-
no. I have the money. I have the
I know
money.
it's fine. You
just,
can give me a
it's-
silver later. I just
No, I will.
there.
I'll
That
get
way
you
it's
later.
tracked.
It's
Yeah.
1 silver.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
I just love the idea of like I'll just pay. You just pay me. Just Venmo me later.
I'll Venmo you. It's a
Yeah.
desert thing.
It was 1 silver.
1
Yeah.
silver.
we have like 15,000 gold in the
Yeah,
bank.
I love
It's 1
the
silver.
haggling over the 1 silver.
14,050.
My apologies.
What you're seeing is it's a 3-story building, and on this first floor it opens up to a big sort. All the structure of the building is square. So as you move forward, there is this big grand staircase on one side, and there are these balconies to the 3 floors. So all of the actual artifacts and paintings and these other things of just sort of like Jortenian history are laid out on the walls and some of the floor on each level. But there is open balconies to look down towards this like tiled, this like checkerboard flooring in the center, right? And then on some offshoot parts, there are extra rooms and things and other places to go. What would you
Is
like
there
to
a
do?
map or a directory of some kind that would say like specifically where maybe
No.
ancient technology would be great?
Is there a dragon in front? I'm just kidding.
No.
Is there like a person who would tell us this information?
There's a couple of staff people that you could ask. What question are you going to be asking?
Pardon me, staff member. We are looking for. I would have this memorized. Professor Bromer.
Romer.
Bromer. I'll put an accent over it.
Is the professor expecting you?
No.
Well, generally.
But we would like to speak to her.
Generally speaking, she has very finite appointments that she wants to keep. But also currently she is not within the museum today.
At all today, or like she will be later today?
I believe her schedule keeps her away from the museum today.
Well, can you tell her that we came here to look for her?
No, it's really fine. Thank you for your time.
I mean, if there is a message you'd like to leave, I could attempt to leave it on in her office, and
No.
she will get to it later.
We wouldn't want to bother her. We're just big fans of her work, and yeah, that was all. But if she's not around, we don't want to bother
She is
her.
quite amazing, yes.
Yes.
But yes, I believe you could make direct inquiries into her time through, other means. Is there anything else I could help you with in the museum today?
Do you have any particular exhibits or sections on ancient technology or the maledicted wastes?
Well, we do actually happen to have a few I'm losing the word.
Exhibits.
Well, no, it's expose. Like we do have a few exposés of the wastes themselves. They are certainly being so close to Corona. They always incite a lot of wonder and there is also a couple of interesting finds that we have had on the same level. It's up on the 3rd floor. We have all of our sort of display and information as to what we found.
Excellent. Thank you. Well,
We go there. We go there.
I go,
We go those ones.
Walking up the stairs, you head up to the 3rd floor. Random.
Now you get mugged. No. No.
Their section on the Maledicted Wastes is fairly limited. It's sort of, you can kind of tell like through a couple of plaques and some of the display of what it is they found. There's a couple of broken weapons. There are a few sort of old rusted, seemingly like coins. There's also a couple broken vases and things. Seemingly, people lived there. That's kind of what the language of the display is talking about. It's at one time it is believed that people actually lived within the wastes, and so by that meaning that something has happened. Something happened to this stretch of land to create this kind of landscape. A couple other notable things that they say about it is that it's a desert, but has sands that corrode, as well as that also electrocute people. It is this weird sort of elemental chaos desert that also, by all accounts of geology and sort of the study of how the world works, they kind of display that it doesn't make sense to have a desert here. The climate might be appropriate, necessarily, it might be semi-appropriate, but for whatever reason, for the amount of stretch of land that it is, it doesn't seem possible. It seems, it's a highly irregular piece of land, deeply arcanic, and it's dangerous. It's not advised to travel through. That's why most places will just boat across. They'll just take the ocean route instead.
huh.
I don't think it's necessarily likely. What if the weapon beneath the city is another mere stone?
It's possible.
I've been thinking that.
Whatever it is, I think it's at least related to the effects that the Mere Stones have. It uses the same energy, the same ley lines, the same magic that the stones tap into. That's why we saw Core Hall looking the way it is. The land around it.
I mean, the letter said something about lodestone, so it is possible.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that if this weapon was allowed to be used, it's incredibly possible it would create more areas like the Maledicted Wastes.
Yeah. Yeah, because I always thought the Maledicted Waste was formed by a mere stone, just because of the effect we've seen them have. But it could be not. It's not really. It doesn't line up at least exactly with the effects we've seen in the past. So.
It sounds
Or
sounds
it could
like
be
a
a device
place.
that focuses a mere stone's energy, or
It sounds like it's a result of everything being thrown out of balance.
yeah.
It's too much energy.
And electric and corrosive, right?
It's a series of that kind of stuff.
It's just a mess.
It's
of
not.
a
It's
bunch
yeah. It's it's not just those two things. It's burning
Right.
sands and freezing sands, that kind of thing. It's like
Okay.
an elemental chaos.
Okay. So I was thinking those were two of the things the slime was doing to us, but it might be coincidental. Especially because the electric came from the machinery.
I'd put my money on it being because of a bunch of those weapons being used in the same place during the war. And also, that's why the Three Sisters had to do what they did. Otherwise, everything would probably be like the Melodic Wastes.
Are there any places that delve at all into discoveries in the waste or ancient technology in any way?
So some of those items that are there, like that's kind of the discoveries. They talk a little bit about a few smaller. So when it comes to like ancient technology, there's a couple of different levels of the term. Like things like the mansion, things like the train, those are like, that's ancient technology. That is 100%. Then there's other things that are like, oh, this is an old device that they made, but it's like minor technology, right? Like it's so there's a couple examples of that within cases. There's a sword hilt, and it kind of like shows in the display that like by pressing a button it like ejects the blade and kind of like folds out. So stuff like that. It's like simpler technology, but still like stuff that they found within the wastes, stuff that they found in the sort of like archaeological digs. So it begged the question of like, this is ancient technology, this is certainly something that came before, but it has functions that like we still haven't entirely been capable of enacting.
Are you
That sort of like, hey, we put this thing within a smaller version of itself. Like, that's not something that just normally happens within technology.
Is any of this giving you any insight? Anything about the way that they made things?
Not particularly. A lot of these things, I'm not even sure that it was made by the same people who made stuff like the mansion and the train.
I have a theory. I think the way that they powered these weapons was because the energy used to be raw before it was bound, before it was formed into these schools, before it was put into the mirror stones. It's the reason why when we fuel the mansion, we have to take that raw energy from another plane. I feel like that's why they're having a hard time powering this weapon, is that things simply don't exist like that anymore. However, I think if they move this weapon to a place like the Maledicted Wastes, or if they used a mirror stone, or some other source of just immense energy,
Laid it on a like a main point of a ley line, something like that.
I think that's the energy they were using. I think that's why we can't do the same things. I think it uses a different energy source entirely that doesn't exist here anymore.
Well, they're getting it to do something.
Yeah. They're trying to do it with electricity, which I think is why it's not working entirely. But that's just my theory. Going off of how
It's entirely possible whatever they're getting it to do isn't even what it was built for. It's just its reaction to their own type of energy.
I'm wondering if I'm right, I'm wondering how long it'll take them to figure that out, and then what they'll do if they do.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you think there's anything else we can get from here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Anyone else need or want to do anything? Alright. Taking that information. She's in the litter box.
Sounds like she's wrestling.
You exit the museum, more educated than before, and make your way out to where?
Do we want to just follow the same path we took before?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Odds are we probably won't need the masks again, but I guess we might.
On your journey back out, it wasn't as clouded.
Right. It just depends on if like more slimes are there now, but they're probably not.
I don't think it makes them unless this machine is running. I don't think the machine can run all the time.
Yeah. We're probably safe then.
As we leave, I'm gonna ask someone. Oh, do you know if there were any more of those blackouts last night that I heard have been happening?
Oh, no. Luckily, we actually were able to keep our power, and yeah, they've just been happening all over the city. Who knows?
Yeah, that's fair. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, then I'll go. Yeah, we weren't here last night, so we don't know that they didn't run it, but it seems less likely without the power outages. So, yeah, I'm down to head into the.
What if we go and ruin the electricity place and then we go?
Like,
Just to stop it from charging up at all. Yeah, because that machine was probably to send energy into the weapon, right? Like if we're just making assumptions.
It's possible.
It seems like it from
Yeah.
the research notes.
But there's
yeah,
not like a Con Edison kind of thing.
No, not a Con Edison type of. They don't. They,
Not a.
so that doesn't run. I was just trying to say that doesn't run the power to the city, right? Like it would only be.
But they're using the power from the city. So I'm saying, is there
Yeah.
a place like Con Edison that has like a power reserve kind of thing where it's like I could blow that up and then we can go blow up the machine?
Just knock out the power to the entire city, and then go in.
I mean, we could spend some more time. I could spend some time checking out those power banks, seeing because if we're right, those are how they transfer power to the machine.
If we do knock it
So-
out, it also probably distracts them for a long time and gives us a
That's-
chance to get
yeah.
in there.
I mean, yeah, and it seems like we can mess with that without taking out power from the entire city. Because I don't know that that's a great idea. I mean, using that machine to try and overload the weapon might be the way to go, but of course that could result in town-destroying earthquakes.
Yeah, I'm worried that if we overload it, it might just destroy everything in the area.
Yeah.
We can just go down to the thing. It was just an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
it's
the
worth
idea
looking
of like
into.
yeah, if the power is somewhere like outside of Parliament and we can destroy that and like cause a huge distraction, that would be huge. I just don't know where it is.
Are you talking like power to the city as a whole, or?
I mean, I was just talking about taking out some of the power to
No,
the thing. If it got the power of the city, I didn't really care.
No, in terms of a distraction, Chris, were you talking about to the city, or?
If it
I
was,
feel like
if you took it out to the city, like that would be like a huge distraction, right?
I feel like the first thing they would do is lock down their weapon. Is send people to make sure the weapon's okay. From the little I know of these people, I would assume they would prize
They prioritize
this
that
sort
over
of
the people.
discovery over the lives of their citizenry.
That's fair. I mean, they've been blacking out the town on purpose.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So to the hole then.
yes.
Yeah. Party go down the hole.
Okay. You all enter the sewers in your typical fashion. Again, takes about, even with knowing the way, about half an hour just to get to the first foray into your pitons. You guys might have to set up your rope again, but if you guys are willing to take a little bit of time, you can do that simply. No checks.
Go down, thread the rope back through the batons.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or at least we get one more use out of them, you know?
Hey.
Just gonna knock that TV over.
Yeah, she's just
What do I
getting rowdy.
You gave her catnip before the recording, hoping that would knock her out for the session, but
Give me.
Yikes.
I parkour down just to be safe.
And as you come back over across the bridge, you come to the octagonal room with the water flowing below it. and the hatch is still closed.
Doesn't look like anybody's been in here. They probably abandoned this place once the slimes got it. Or maybe they only send people down here like when they're ready to shoot.
It's a good point. Like,
Can
if
I
they
look
use...
Can I look at the skeletons and stuff
Sure.
to see like if they're like from this like guards or if they're just like common folk?
So there's not. So the bones are left, but there's not too many like fabric or armor or anything left.
Are there any of those coins that the twins gave to give to their smugglers? Something that would mark them as a smuggler. This is Miles asking, not Liam. Something that would mark them as smuggler bodies.
No coins. No.
Okay.
Do they all appear to be men?
Give me a medicine check.
Based on the pelvis structure of
Yeah.
the bone.
Yeah, basically. I don't know why I'm looking. I think I have 0. I'm pretty medicinal.
How do you have a 0?
I lied. I
Medicine
don't.
is wisdom.
15. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was-
15. Mixture. Men and women. 6 bodies.
Do they look fresh? 6 bodies?
Yeah.
Do they look freshly
No.
done?
They're
They've been here for, like, a
clean,
while.
and it makes it harder to read, but like it makes it harder to tell. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze.
Wow.
Chest
That's you.
sneezed.
That was a shotgun.
Now I also just sneezed right on the cat.
Good.
So you can kind of tell that the corrosive nature of the slime has sort of broken down some of the calcium and some of the bone structure, but it also has prevented it from like decaying a whole bunch. So it's a little tough to tell how long exactly, but probably at least like 2 months, 3 months.
So it feels like they've abandoned this place a while ago then.
So in order to see, can I check out the machinery, see where the
Yeah.
cabling goes to and from?
It seems pretty. So, give me. I don't need an investigation check. You're good. Itself in the power bank kind of is just routed to each other. There is a section in the wall as you get kind of like more towards where the hatch is, where you can see cables moving forward, like over and through the wall. And where that cable is, you see them being cut. You see a very clear, just kind of like tear in the cable lines.
Oh.
So while the power banks themselves can still turn on, does not seem it's connected to anything else besides the module. So it's just this room.
So maybe because of
Okay.
the slime thing, they abandoned this setup and moved to a different place to gather power? Or maybe this wasn't powering the machine in the first place.
It's a good question.
Do you think it's safe to
Huh?
turn it on and like examine it now?
Probably. I'm not sure what that would accomplish. Right now it seems to be putting power into
It's mostly
a
just-
power bank that doesn't...
I bet the wires being cut and opened there is what let the slime like use electricity when it was on from the from the whole room.
Probably.
Yeah, the only thing I can think is like maybe we'd get information from it, but I don't know that it's anything like vital. The biggest thing is just trying to get through this hatch, I guess.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, you pulled
That's
the lever.
me. I pulled the lever.
Oh.
As they're just debating, you're like, and Nameless
I
opens
can't
the...
find a reason as to why I wouldn't. I'm like sitting here trying to like decide why I wouldn't. And I was like, no.
Calm down. Again, it's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze, but you guys can crawl through one at a time, or like one person can crawl through.
Single file.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Single file.
Yeah.
Is it still coated in the slime?
Yes, it seems drier,
Oh.
but it does seem like it's coated in it.
Can I touch it and see if it is corrosive?
As you put your hand on it, how long do you put your hand on it?
Like a solid minute.
At about 30 seconds, you start to feel a little tingle, and after a minute, it definitely starts to itch a little.
Okay. Pull it out, shake it. It's like, okay, this stuff isn't nearly as toxic as it used to be, but it's still a little uncomfortable.
Right, let's try and get through it quickly then.
And we can't see how far it goes.
It goes farther than you can see.
Is it going up or is it just going across?
At this moment, it's just going across.
Okay.
It's like slight angle.
Okay. I mean, I don't think we have any easy way to like see how far it goes.
What order are you crawling through?
I would...
I'd love to go first in case we come across any mechanical based entrances or valves or anything like that.
Question. Can I take control water and take the water and then control it up because it says it can go over things and make it go up the hole and clean out all the goo?
You're giving it an enema.
Just like makeshift radar.
It says redirect flow. It says you cause flowing water in the area to move in a direction you choose, even if the water has to flow over obstacles, up walls, or in other unlikely directions.
Yes.
The water in the area moves as you direct it, but once it moves beyond the spell's area, it resumes flow back to the terrain conditions.
Yes.
And it is at 300 feet.
So
So guys,
there's
like,
water.
put
Yes,
upstairs.
I have said
And then
yes. I have said yes.
Oh. So I missed that. I tell the party I can do this.
Drano time!
How do you
Okay.
pull the water?
Well, I just do that, and then I do that.
Just like you would imagine it would be a little bit more graceful, but you do just see nameless. Oh my God, cat. You'd imagine it'd be a little more graceful, but you do just see nameless kind of go, and just shove the water, kind of just like.
This is nothing like Avatar.
Just kinda
So
keeps
once it goes
shoving.
300 feet, it's gonna come back down.
Well,
and then
you're still
I'll wait a little
controlling-
bit.
Okay, hold on. I'm saying it's a small opening. So imagine, if you will, that you're pushing 300 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's also 15 feet down, 60 feet over, so you're really only getting about 200 feet,
Okay.
right? Like, actually. But, so pulling it in, pushing 200 feet, it's a tight opening. It's not going to just, like, push back when you're still controlling the rest of the water behind it. So consider it more like a...
Well, it would have to start pushing back once it hits the end of the spell. Is what it says. It redirects the flow back to how it would go normally.
Yeah, so imagine it's like this, right? It's just doing this.
Yeah. Okay, but I can see when it comes back down. Is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Gotcha. I
Great.
see what you're trying to say.
And then when that happens, I stop the spell so that we can actually go into it.
So...
Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
No, it
Like,
makes sense.
otherwise
I'm
it's
trying to...
gonna be water.
No. It makes sense. It goes the length it goes and comes back. But it takes about 5, sorry. It takes about 5 minutes of just like
Great. I only have 10 minutes, so.
consistently pushing it forward. And then you start to see it push back out.
Okay, I'll give it like another minute or two so it's a
Little.
nice, good clean.
Get a little
And then
slower.
I drop it.
And as you kind of like pull it back out, it does just have chunks of the residue kind of like pulled back out as it splashes across the floor.
I thought that would be helpful.
It should be. Alright.
Okay. Well, we know it's longer than 200-ish feet.
That's unfortunate, but it's good we know. Alright. I guess we go in the hole.
So,
Crawling.
who is going first?
Maya, Liam.
Yeah.
Liam's going first.
Okay.
Who's going next?
I'll follow just in case.
And after that?
What checks do we get a plus on when we're close to you? Again?
Saving throws is gonna be the big thing.
Just in general?
Saving throws, you get +4 on all saving throws. You get half damage on any spells or anything that hits you. You
Fear
can't
effect.
get afraid.
And Jackie, you already can't get afraid? Did I make that up?
She can't be poisoned and she's immune to disease.
And I can't be.
You also take reduced damage on magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, do you want to go next or do you want me to go next?
You can go next.
Alright, I'll go next then.
All right.
Unfortunately, the hole is too small for Pangolin.
Do you want to take an hour to make it even smaller?
Can he be doing that? Oh, it's only 5 minutes.
So, I mean, we couldn't get him down past the rope bit the first time, so I assumed I left him there.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's what I mean. Is that it was too
Yeah.
small, so like he is.
So he's there. If we end up exiting a different way, I'll go and pick him up.
Poor Pangolin.
Gotta go pick up my pangolin.
Okay.
Yeah, I could polymorph him.
He's not a. Wait.
It's a construct. You can polymorph anything
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say.
as long as it's a creature.
Yeah.
Oh
Whoa.
well, too late now.
As you start the crawl, tight space, especially for someone like you, Philip, with all of the extra bits you
What's that
have.
supposed to mean? Oh, okay.
All of his extra bits.
All of your extra bits. You got the armor. You
Yeah.
got.
Yeah. No, yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
Take it offensively. I get it. That is where we will be calling our session tonight. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Happy Halloween!
Happy
yeah,
Halloween.
super happy Halloween, right? And when we come back next week, they'll be following up the pipe. They're plugging up the pipes.
It'll be Thanksgiving.
No.
Once
my
November
costume-
1st hits, it's Thanksgiving, so.
Colonoscopy season.
I wasn't really dressed as Miles. I'm Luke from Gilmore Girls. I didn't tell you
I'm
that.
dressed as Miles.
Yeah.
Lay
I
down.
didn't dress. This is my Luke from Gilmore Girls costume. I just wanted you guys to know that.
So good.
So you didn't think.
And
I
I'm
didn't
glad that you did it at the end of the episode, so like they've been waiting to know.
This whole time it's been bothering him. Like, what is his costume?
What is his costume?
Ah, man.
Alright, thanks for watching, you guys.
Thanks so much.
And congratulations again to the person who won if we did it a thing.
If we did a thing,
Oh my God.
who knows?
She's...
And eat a candy apple and carve a jack-o'-lantern.
We're
Eat a candy and carve
What
an
she
apple
said.
lantern.
Apple lantern?
Apple lanterns.
Yeah. That's the delicate art. Bye,
I can't
everyone.
even do a pumpkin.